In photography, whether we're talking about film or digital, there are a few fundamentals that we need to understand and cover, and one of the most important fundamentals is aperture. Is the way you control the amount of light coming into your camera. It works like the pupil of your eye, where when you're in a dark setting, your pupil dilates to let more light in, and when it's bright and sunny outside, it constricts to let less light in. Here I have a film lens, and the aperture is all the way open right now. It's at f1.4, as wide open as it will go. It's letting in the most amount of light. And when you stop down, you will hear it clicking. 1 stop, 2, 3, 4. We are now at f5.6 and all the way down at f16. Now I mentioned that aperture is measured in f-stops, and f-stops will always be denoted as either a whole number, like f16, stopped all the way down here, or a decimal, like f1.4. So the smaller the number, the more open your aperture will be and the more light you're going to be letting into your camera. The larger the number, the smaller your aperture and the less light you will be letting into your camera. Now, not all lenses have the same range of aperture. For instance, this lens here, f2.8 is all the way open for this lens, and f32 is all the way closed down for this lens. But for this lens, f1.4 is all the way open, and f16 is all the way closed down. Aperture has another effect on your images other than the amount of light it lets into the camera, something called depth of field. Depth of field is the amount of blurred out background you have in an image. So if you're taking a picture of your friend at f1.4 and the background is completely blurred out, that is going to be what we call a shallow depth of field, where your subject is in focus, but everything behind your subject is out of focus. With shallow depth of field, that blurred out background you get in some of your images is going to be an effect called bokeh. That whimsical blurred out background is the bokeh effect. Or great depth of field, where everything in your image is in focus. At f16, your subject is in focus, your background is in focus, and you see everything really clearly. If you look at this clip, you'll notice that my face is slightly out of focus, but the lens I'm holding is in focus. The light is going to change as I change my aperture, but the depth of field, or how blurry my face is, will also change as I close down my aperture to let less light in, creating a greater depth of field with more of the image in focus.
Okay, so I tried opening up the aperture to 1.2 as far as it'll go, and what happened is my light meter is telling me I need more light, but I can't open up my aperture any further. So I'm gonna try and finagle it in a way where the camera gets the light that it needs to expose the picture properly. So that let me take 2 photos in this dark setting at 1/60th f1.2, and it barely let me do it. My camera was saying that it was underexposed and that I needed more light, but when I turned the camera a little bit more towards the light, it gave it what it needed in order to be exposed properly, and I think we're gonna be okay. Okay, so I have these leading lines. I don't know if you can see these. And we're gonna try and capture that, see what it looks like when it's super dark outside. Okay, here we go. Now this is telling me I have enough light. We're at 1/60th, 1/8. We're gonna do 2. F2, same photo. We're gonna also do horizontal. All right, we got it. Shooting this kind of thing can also be really fun. So we're gonna do that and see how it comes out. hang on. It's saying I didn't have enough light, but you can move your camera around so that it hits light in a different way. And by doing that, you get the right exposure. By adding a little light from whatever light source, you're going to get what you need in order to have the picture exposed properly.
Those are the basics of Aperture. The best way to learn is to go out, shoot, make mistakes, and learn from those mistakes. If you are new and you're starting out with a digital camera, you can set this dial on the top to aperture priority, or the A, which will allow you to only focus on your aperture. The camera will adjust the other settings for you, so you can really hone in on understanding what different apertures do when you're changing that dial. I will be posting more videos to help you learn about photography, so don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you take your camera, go out, shoot, and capture those moments. You can tag me on Instagram @thistilly so that I can see everything that you're doing. Until next time, I'm Tilly Scholl. Thanks for watching.